Hello everybody and welcome to your new series Insurmountable, following on from Frostpunk. I wanted a game that carried on those kind of moral, tough decisions that I'd been making a lot in Frostpunk. I really enjoyed those. And I really enjoy those in games and movies and kind of all entertainment that I watch in general. And I was quite deep into a Wikipedia rabbit hole about mountaineering and kind of the ethical decisions that people have to make there. And I was wondering if there was a game which kind of covered that, and here we are. Insurmountable. We've got to climb to some mountains to the very top while still looking out for our sanity, our health, many different things. We're just going to go on normal because we're not experienced mountaineers or extreme mountaineers. We're a beginner. And, goodness knows what we're going to encounter along the way, that's for sure. This is a roguelike, so I believe the mountain changes every single time. I've loaded up to make sure everything's okay, but otherwise, this is my first time experiencing Insurmountable, so I'm sure we're going to make many, many mistakes, that's for sure. And here we are, down at the very bottom of the mountain. A long way to go yet, it seems. You cast your gaze over the enormous mountain landscape. You have travelled before across the globe seeking out adventure, but this island is like nothing you've ever seen before. As far as you can tell, it is largely unexplored. The only information you can find are a few rumours about an occupying force. On the way here, you stumbled across abandoned property and lost places. You wonder what happened here, what secrets the island is keeping. Then you shake your head. It might be nice to have some answers, but your goal is clear. Reach the summit. That is why you're here. That is what drives you. So we have our 4 meters down the bottom, sanity, which decreases slowly, but any mental stress can make that go worse. Our body temperature, self-explanatory, as is our energy, as is our oxygen. Oxygen will be in the death zone, that's when we start to lose it, but that's not for a little while yet. And here we are. Looking out over the mountain, we've got a long way to go before that green pillar at the top. And we not only have to make it up, we have to make it down again. But let's not worry about that for the time being, we've got a long way to go just yet. And because one thing I like about this game is it's a fixed camera, so which I don't actually normally like in games, but it makes sense for this. You can only plan what your character can see. You can't plan all your way up to the top because that wouldn't be right. We're going to head this way because these little floating discs are kind of events or something similar. So we're going to head this way, see what we find. There are also caves we can sleep in. We also have an inventory. It's locked while moving, but that's okay. This game is very atmospheric and I really like it. I did watch someone play this a long time ago. And here we go, our first event, an unexpected meeting. A gust of wind catches you and you almost fall into a deep fissure. You flail wildly with your arms, trying to keep your balance. Suddenly, someone grabs your wrist and pulls you back from the edge. That was close. Just a second later and you would have fallen to your death. Your knees still weak. Arms are heavy. Mother's spaghetti. Sorry. You take a look at your rescuer. Bit of Eminem. She's a young woman in a threadbare anorak. There is a green stone fastened around her neck with a leather strap. Fascinated, you stare at the hand-carved charm. Its soft glow is almost hypnotizing. She smiles and hands you some much-needed provisions. We accept the gift. A strange feeling overcomes you. You are sure you've been in this situation before. Deja vu? Distracted, you place her gift into your pack. When you look back up, the strange woman is gone. Truly bizarre, but you are indeed grateful. And we get some heavy boots. 15% energy cost on stone. Excellent. Let's put those on straight away. And I see another event over here, which is not too far away from our current location. I think while we can get stuff, while we're relatively safe and secure down the low parts of the mountain, I'd say that's a good thing. Tomorrow the weather is clear, which is useful. We do also have a day and night cycle that we need to be aware of. Things are much colder during the night, and obviously if we don't sleep, our energy gets affected. Okay, the branches of a nearby bush are completely covered in spider's webs. As you take a closer look, you notice several spiders vanishing into the hole in the ground. You bend over to inspect the hole. It looks like there's something hidden in there. So, we can reach into the hole at the cost of our sanity, or we can continue our journey. I don't mind the loss in sanity. I'm scared about getting a spider bite and having health issues, but we're fairly low down. I'm hoping we'll find something useful. Spiders skitter over your hand, but they don't hurt you. Your fingertips brush something soft, a cloth bag. You pull it out and discover equipment inside. Fur gloves. Excellent. This is why I wanted to do these events while we're relatively safe and secure down here on the lower parts of the mountain. Increased body temperature gain while moving and searching. Body temperature is also increased while resting and also while moving. Wonderful. That goes in our hands, or equipment for our hands, I should say. And then we can carry on. I'd like to go over there. I don't know what the best way around is from where we are. I've also got to think about where I want to sleep in the night. If I head up this way, that'd be useful, but trying to get up there is almost certainly not going to be the best way. Okay, we'll head this way and see what happens. We can also time-lapse as well, which makes things go a little bit quicker, which I think we'll do. At least for important matters. Oh, I think we might have done a slight bit of accidental moving back and forth. We don't want to be doing that high up the mountain, that's for sure. But I'd like to get up there, that's for sure. That would be a big cost. That would be a big cost. And I don't know if that's the thing that we want to do. But our items done pretty well for us before, so I think we'll head that way. So we find it's going to take a big cost of energy. But we hope it'll be worth it, and we do need to start climbing higher up anyway. There's also a cave over there we could consider sleeping in. Because it is starting to get nighttime. Okay, we find some crystalline frost. A smooth sparkling stone catches your eye. The surface is covered in delicate, complex patterns of ice crystals that remind you of saplings, ferns and blossoms. It's a beautiful sight. We will examine the ice crystals. You stare at the patterns of frost, transfixed. It's almost as if they are moving and growing before your very eyes. The thought that true beauty can exist in even the most hostile, inhospitable climates leave you feeling reassured and content. 9.1 sanity back, that's pretty useful, and we also have leveled up for the first time. So we can do warm thoughts. Whenever you use a consumable item, it's a body temperature, potentially useful. Preserve energy, which is 18% energy cost on all terrain, but limited time effect active for 24 hours. Or control breathing, where we get additional oxygen. I don't know if we need oxygen just yet. But I think so. I think we'll take preserve energy. That's an event. So that's okay. Oh, do we really have to head all that way? Seems there isn't a better option than to go around there. But I do think it's worth it to go that way. And then we'll probably head to the cave afterwards. Although really I don't know what the best way forward is. We could use our tent, I suppose. Because going around that way feels like a long path around. Okay. Shrine, there's an active fire pit but not a soul around. The flames seem to be fighting the icy wind for survival. Watching the fire dance in the face of the cold is almost meditative. You can watch it for a while and regain either warmth, which we don't need at the moment, or energy, which I would think we definitely need. So that was indeed worth doing. I don't know if there's a way up via there though, that's my concern. My concern is if we can't get up higher from there, then we're in real trouble. Ooh, lots of landscapes. So that's where we started. And we're over here now. We do have our tent, which we're going to probably need to use fairly soon. But trying to get down and round is a real concern, I think. Because that's a... Blimey, that's a long way. That's a long, long way indeed. However, I think it's still going to be the best option. There is a cave here. And so we can stop off in that cave. and spend the night. We're gonna be walking in the dark for a little bit. It's gonna cost us quite a bit of energy, but there's not really a good way around. So we're working in nightfall now, so temperature's a little bit colder, but we'll be stopping in that cave and sleeping for the night, I think. There's also another obelisk up there which we might want to go to. We'll have to see. It really depends on what we find here. So we're going to stop here at this cave. You enter a cave. It's dry and sheltered from the wind, however you notice a strong smell. We're going to follow the smell, make sure there's no issues. You follow the smell but are unable to find anything except some tufts of fur and bones. We're going to lie down and sleep because we are in a cave, we have no need to. We will sleep till daytime. That will get our energy and our body temperature back. Wonderful. And we can now continue on our adventure. Okay. But I don't know if that route we went was the ideal one. We can go to there. At least initially I think we'll go to there, because we have to start climbing now. I think we just have to deal with that at some point. I'd like to maybe go up to that shrine up there, and maybe that item up there. My concern is I don't know if we can get further up from that range, but for the time being, I think we'll just take these next two bits of cliff, as I don't really see another option for us. These kind of rocky outcrops will be the more difficult terrain. We'll want to try and avoid them as best possible. Luckily we can go through them for the time being, but that's going to change. As you can see here, when we're on the rocky outcrop, there's some chances of things going wrong. For now though, let's just head to here. That's a relatively safe journey up until that point, and we are now starting to slowly climb. We want to keep an eye out for caves, for items, for anything else useful. That shrine may well give us some well-needed break. We will have to cross some slightly dangerous terrain here, hopefully without issue. Okay, terrain types. There are 3 terrain types: rock, snow, and ice. So can trigger dangerous events. Not ideal, that's for sure. And that's the same with snow drifts and glaciers as well. And stuff like ice and snow has higher energy costs and stuff as well. Thankfully, no dangerous event this time. We do need to be a little bit careful. I don't know what we're doing. We seem to be going on a little bit of a forwards and backwards route, but that's okay. While staring at the starry sky, you notice there it is, a shooting star. You make a wish for energy or sanity. I think we're doing okay for energy. I'm going to take the sanity for now, because I feel like sanity might be the big thing later on. We're going to head to that event over there, or that item over there, because items are useful. But just looking at the terrain here, I don't know if this is the way we want to go. But we find a chest. We found a buried chest. We can dig out the chest. That's going to take a bit of time and quite a lot of energy. We are going to do so, because we found some equipment. We have found an oxygen mask. Excellent, that can go on our face. But now from here, where do we want to go? There's a cave over there, and it's relatively safe to get to. My question is the problem is, because we're on a fixed camera, we can't really see where we're going, so we have to make these decisions and then deal with the consequences of them afterwards. We are going to have to cross that rocky outcrop, I think. It's not ideal. But we just have to deal with it. Because it's going to get to night soon. I'd like to head for that cave, I think. There's an item there, and I think there's a cave further back in that crevasse, so that really is, I think, our best option. Our tent only has 3 uses. We don't want to use our tent too early. There was an item over there, but it was overgrowing of some ice, and it feels like too far away for where we want to go, really. We find a herb garden. You discover a narrow strip of plants concealed beneath towering rocks. It turns out to be 2 neatly planted rows of herbs. You marvel at how tidy it looks. Did someone try to cultivate this frozen landscape? You take as much as you can carry, but that means our temperature goes down. We can pluck a few herbs, or we continue. I think we're doing okay for body temperature. We're going to be going to a cave fairly soon. Well, it does mean it's now night time. We gain 2 herbs. Okay, so these are drugs, essentially, moon herbs. We get our sanity back, but at a cost to health. Okay. We can also level up. Right, so we can take it slow. So this is a permanent modifier. Whenever you wake up, gain 4 energy, 4 body temperature, 4 oxygen. That might be quite useful. Or we can get mindfulness. Whenever you reach a point of interest, gain 3 sanity. That's only a limited time effect. And fast movement. That might be useful if we go into a storm, which we are. I feel though like taking it slow is a good passive effect for the time being. Okay, I'm going to head to that cave just because I think it's the next best option. We're getting pretty tired. Hopefully when we sleep we can recover that. I thought that was a gorilla, but no. Okay, we enter the cave cautiously. A short way ahead, the ground disappears. There's a wide, deep fault in the earth. In front of you, switching from one wall to the other. I don't think I'm going to explore that fault. That feels like a bad idea. We will sleep. We can sleep briefly. We can sleep for a long time. As it's stormy, I'm going to sleep for longer. That might be the worst, not the best decision. But that also gives us some stuff when we wake up. The problem is now that it's stormy. First of all, my camera seems to be stuck. But also, trying to figure out where to go from here is going to be interesting. I will go up to this item as we're right next to it. It feels silly not to. We find some more wild herbs. We can climb down. That's a big cost of energy. Ooh, I'm actually going to leave it because during the storm I think all our energy is going to be needed elsewhere. We can hopefully go up this way. Okay, let's go this way because we're going to have to go up and down a bit. You know, what goes up must come down. I really like this game. And I'm intrigued to see the ethics of mountaineering kind of come to the fore. Because we're nowhere near that high up yet, to be honest. We've still got a long way to go. We do have a bit of a rocky outcrop to follow here. Is there a safer way we can go? Yes, we can. Takes us that little bit longer, but it means we avoid the dangerous area, and I think that is important because I'm sure we're going to have some injuries later on. So if we can avoid injuries for the time being, that feels useful. And here we go. An injured mountaineer. A tent hastily erected against the side of a rock wall catches your attention. As you get closer, you discover a sleepy mountaineer. His clothes are torn to pieces, and you can tell by his face that he's in bad shape. You can't say how long he has left to live or whether he will make it. We can look through his provisions at a cost of sanity. We can help him, but that's a big cost of energy. Or we can continue our journey. Or we could try to treat his injuries, but we don't have the relevant item to do so. Oh, what do we do here? Because for me, the laws of the mountain say that, you know, if someone doesn't need something anymore, then it should be used. But he's not dead, he's injured. can try to help him, but that will come at a severe cost to our energy levels. But I feel like it's the right thing to do. You roll the stranger into the recovery position and speak to him in a soothing voice. He opens his eyes and looks at you, bewildered. His strength appears to be coming back, so you help him to sit up. He is very grateful and shares his provisions with you, assuring that he'll be alright from now on. So we gain, I think that's a flashlight, wonderful. And we gain some sanity back, but that did come at a cost to our energy. But we do at least get to see things a little better. There's a cave here. I wonder if we are best just making for that cave and trying to sleep through the rest of this storm. Especially as our energy is pretty low. I'm starting to get into the snowy areas, it seems. Well, there's something over there I'd require to make it to. You enter the cave. It's dry and sheltered from the wind. We're going to lay down and sleep. We'll sleep for a long time. Oh, it's going to go to cold tomorrow. That's not ideal. But I want to sleep through the rest of this storm, I think. That's also going to get our energy back, which is important. We do need it. Return to us. Okay, we're currently at nightfall, and it is blisteringly cold. We're still in the storm, but that's going to change to the cold pretty soon. Can we make it up further from our current position, I wonder? I think we're kind of too far on this hand side, so we'll head over here, because we have to go this way. Anyway, I think there's another cave there we can potentially take refuge in if it gets really bad, but I think for the time being we'll keep heading forwards. We're not losing too much energy at the moment. Thankfully we do have these heavy boots which help us in the stone, and we are still mostly on stone terrain, but it is cold, so we do need to watch our body temperature, and we are travelling at night as well. We found a comet. Exhausted, you roll your head back. You gasp and your pupils dilate as comet flies over you. Its bright tail stretching miles behind it. What a spectacle. You are overwhelmed to the motion. We get some sanity. And also some experience points. We can go here. That feels dangerous. Ooh, there's something there though. I didn't see that from this angle. Let's go there. A shrine or something. Either get hopefully some energy or something else similar. Daybreak, but it is now cold. A golden eagle suddenly lands in front of you, its wings carrying it majestically to the ground. Fascinated, you watch it, and it watches you, unafraid. You can't explain it, but the encounter feels magical. Fully wrapped up in this moment, you regain either some warmth or some sanity. I think we're pretty okay for sanity. It's cold today, let's take the warmth. Ooh, we are shivering. I don't know if we need to go to the cave. We're starting to make some progress. I'd really rather not go on the snow, but we may not have a choice. That, however, looks fairly safe. We'll do that bit. There's a cave over there should we need it, but I don't think that's going to be at the right time for us. There's a cave over there which might be a little bit better. There's also some other items on the way. I'm not thrilled by the amount of danger along the way, though. We can go to... go up here and then to here. That's the safer option. It might require a little bit more energy, but I think it's the best option we can take. I think the automatic route always takes us the quickest way, but not necessarily the safest way. So we just need to think about where we want to be going now. There's a lot of rocky outcrops for here, that's for sure. We are going to have to cross some rocky outcrops. Hopefully we don't have an event, and here we do. Rock and debris as far as the eye can see. You bounce carefully on the boulder so as not to slip and fall. Suddenly, right in front of you, a shadow leaps out from a recess in the rock, coming straight at you. You jump in fear, losing your balance and crash to the ground. You look up and see a mountain hare. You scrape your knee because of the bunny. Okay, so we've got a temporary injured leg. That means 30% injury or 30% energy cost on all terrain. Not ideal, but I'm still going to carry on because I think we need to. There's the cave there. I wonder if I take a detour over to these items here, because there's another cave over there, and it's still daytime. While it's still daytime, I think we should make best use of our energy and our provisions. We can always return to the caves at a later stage. I think we're going to have to go up this way. I don't particularly see any other options at the moment. Okay, we can get to there without there being any issues, but I think we will have to cross some snow. Thankfully no event is triggered, but we shall see. A boulder grabs your attention. It is virtually rectangular and its edges are smooth, as if someone has worked it into this shape. But that's not all. There's also a tent lying neatly wrapped on the rock, an offering. Your inner voice urges you to not take it, but also to give. What will you leave in its place? Oh, we can take the tent, but that would require a lot of sanity loss. Let's just have a look at our... We do have some canned food, but we only have one canned food. The tent takes up a lot of space, but we're not always going to have caves forever. If I could leave the herbs, I would do that. Oh, what do we do here? What do we do? I'm going to hope that we find some more food somewhere, and I'm going to take the secondary tent. Because while we still have caves for the time being, I don't know how long the caves are going to last. There's a little bit of danger around here now. Hopefully no issues. Oh, we were okay. Near an abandoned camp there is a torn tent. You could take the time to search the intact tents. We can look for 3 hours, we can look for 6 hours. We're going to thoroughly search because we're by a cave. We found another tent. Damn. We now have 3 tents. So doing that trade was not worth it because we just found another tent. Never mind. Okay, so Huithril 1, that's a permanent run for the end of this mission. 10%, minus 10% energy cost on all terrain. Take it slow would be quite useful, because oxygen, energy, and body temperature. Or preserve energy. I feel like we've got to take Huithril 1. Because we will be into the death zone very soon. And having less energy cost in the death zone feels important. We are going to cross a little bit of dangerous terrain to head back to the cave. And we will spend the night there. You enter a vast cave. Several passages lead deep into the mountain. You listen. You can hear metallic clanging coming from one of the passages, as if someone is banging a hammer against a heat pipe. We'll follow the noise, see what we find. You walk a few steps down the passageway, the clanging gets louder, but it's so dark it's hard to say how far away the noise is coming from. Use our flashlight. It's given us a 4th tent. You move further and further into the cave system. The knocking is muffled and regular, as if coming from a strange machine. Then suddenly, silence. You wait for a moment, but nothing happens. You're about to turn around when you discover a massive chest and niche. You open it and find some provisions. I'm not taking a 4th tent. It's just not space. We're going to sleep. We don't need our tent. We're going to sleep for a long time. Get as much energy back as we can. Goodness me, so many tents. Still a nightfall for the time being. And now we're into snowy areas, which is not perfect. But we'll head this way. See what we find. There's a couple of things we might find over this way, so I'm keen to try find out what's here. If anything. But I'm keen to not go on snow too much. I'd much prefer to go on the slower stone route. Oh dear. In front of you, rocks and stones have been meticulously piled up to form a mound. A grave so far up here. We can reflect and pay tribute to the dead, or search for clues as to who is buried here, and I think we will do that. You carefully nudge the rocks with the boot. There's something here. You bend down and find some old but usable equipment. Another mountaineer must be buried here. You have lots of questions and no answers. Who were they? How did they know about the island? What happened to the companion that buried them? We can take the equipment or leave everything as is. Going back to my earlier statement, I feel that taking equipment from a live person feels wrong, but taking it from someone who doesn't need it is for the best. It will cost us some sanity, but I think it'll be worth it. You ask the unknown climber for forgiveness, but you're sure they won't hold a grudge against you. I don't think they would. After all, they have no use of the equipment anymore, but you do. Exactly. That's my thought. What have we found? We've found snow boots. Aha, excellent. I'm just going to move these herbs down. We're going to take the heavy boots off, and we'll put the snowshoes on, I think. Because now on snow quite a bit. And that means we can hopefully traverse this area a little bit easier. But we're going to have to cross some dangerous terrain. So we'll do that. Oh, I think I've done a bit of a backwards route by accident. Never mind. It's not always overly clear. And I'm going to go down here and find out what's in this part of the world. And we can always switch back to our stone shoes later. Oh, we found a doggy! You suddenly hear a loud bark behind you. You spin around to see a St. Bernard, bounding towards you panting. It is its tongue lolling. As it obediently sits at your feet, you notice a harness on its back. There is a bag strapped to it. We find some tea and some oxygen, I think. Hot tea and oxygen. Both of which are very useful. I'm going to get rid of one of the tents. We can't carry 3 tents. It's just not feasible. It's a shame that we're going to have to leave another tent behind, but so much, such is the way. But I think as we made about a 1,000 meter climb here, we will leave it there. We've had to make some tough decisions, and we've made some progress. Down from the bottom of the mountains there. Still a long way to go before the very top, and I think this is mountain 1 of 3. So we'll have to see how it goes. This is your new series alongside LA Noire. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.